Look, bro, genuinely man to man, I would question everything around you, bro. I would question why you're in the position that you are in today. I would question why you wear the hairstyle you wear. And I wouldn't question these things in doubt. I wouldn't question these things in overthinking. I would genuinely question, well, what's the reason, right? What's the reason in me going to the gym? Yeah, for some people it's a habit, but you need to be aware of why you're doing something so that when you do it, you understand why you're doing it. When you understand why you're doing something, you're able to gain so much more benefits from it. Okay? If you go to the gym, and this also applies, mostly for when you don't want to go to the gym, right? If you understand why you're going to the gym and you don't want to go to the gym, you're going to understand why you should still go to the gym. Okay? So, genuinely question things, bro. Question why the hell there's a big ass mountain in front of me that is, you know, like genuinely bigger than I can even imagine, right? Like it looks the size of my hand. Why does it look the size of my hand right now? Even though I don't even know how to describe how big it is. It's big though, right? It's a big ass mountain. Why? And I'm not saying go into some kind of crisis like why is everything happening? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, look, why do you just drift, bro? Why do you just sit there and allow life to happen to you? Why do you just sit there and not ever even think about anything, bro? Don't overthink. Don't overthink. If you think something, you should not be questioning your, like, I guess you could say, you should not be overthinking things. And it's hard to explain, but if you're sitting there and, for example, you're sitting here, you're like, oh, should I do this or should I do that? And you're sitting there, you're just going back and forth, bro. You're just going back and forth over and over again. There's a certain point where you just got to be like, yo, look, maybe that answer ain't came to me yet. That's fine. Trying to move on, bro. Wasting time, right? But, like, there's nothing wrong with sitting there questioning why the grass is green, you know? I'm not saying you're ever going to get an answer, but it's. Appreciate that, bro. But, like, genuinely, just when you start to question things, even what people tell you, when you start to question why, for example, you know, I don't even know why you should go to college or what college is going to do for you or why this certain type of food is going to be more healthy for you. When you start to question these things and you start to gain an understanding of why, then that is when you can use wisdom. That's when you can gain wisdom through them. Okay. And when you gain wisdom through them, that wisdom will apply to multiple areas of your life. At least from my perspective, it will. Like if you learn to go to the gym and you train every day and you understand why you're doing it. Maybe you're not doing it necessarily to be a bodybuilder, but you're doing it because you don't want to be fat, for one, and for two, you don't want to be, immobile in the future because you've been lazy all day. Or not even all day, but you just, chose not to, right? If you understand why you're doing it, then this applies to other aspects. When you go to work and now you try to understand why you're working, why am I making this video, right? I'm making this video, I don't even really know why. I just know that I'm making it because I feel aligned doing so. The ultimate why, I don't know yet, but I do know that I feel aligned doing so. So I'm making this video. That's why I show up and I make these videos, and I'm out here in the middle of nowhere talking, and there's people probably over here wondering why the hell I'm yapping to my phone. Like, genuinely though, I'm making these videos and I understand why. So it gives me that, that extra little push to know, like, I don't need motivation, bro. I don't need motivation. I just need to do it. That's all it is. I just need to do it, right? And it's because I understand why. So genuinely, just start questioning things. Don't doubt yourself. Okay? Do not go and doubt yourself. Do not go and sit there and doubt, oh, I can't do this, right? No, you can do it, because if you couldn't do it, like how the hell does that even make sense to you? You can't do it. If freaking anyone else can do it, you can do it, bro. What's so different about you? You literally wake up every day. You're given that same opportunity to wake up. The only reason you can't do it is because you don't think you can. Anyways.